Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Leanna Averd, and today we're going to be talking about emotional eating. But before that, I'm going to give a little introduction about myself because you've never seen me before. So, I have a degree, a Bachelor of Arts degree, 4 year, in kinesiology and applied health. While I was doing that, I was doing my first career, which was in the restaurant industry, and I worked in restaurants primarily serving food and beverages for 16 years. And I did everything I wanted to do in that industry. And then at the end of that, I was just ready for a new environment. And so that leads me to where I am now. During my life, I've thought about being a nutritionist, a counselor, a personal trainer, and you can do all those three things being a health coach, which is what I wanted. Like, I wanted to be a consultant. I wanted to talk to people about all these different things, and I wanted to help people find a diet, like a way of eating, in which they can be healthy and they can like what they eat at the same time. They could be excited about their food. So, emotional eating. Right. First of all, as a health coaches they're kind of like counselors. They ask you questions that you never really thought about before in order to get you to think differently about things and help you figure out what you will be able to do on your own. So health coaches, they provide diet plans, meal plans. They counsel you on behavioral change, and they also give you personal training regimes. Okay, so now to our topic of emotional eating. So what is emotional eating? Well, when you when you want a specific food, that's emotional eating. When you're like me on my fasting days and you're like, oh, I just want anything, right? I just want food, that's hunger. But when you want a specific food, that's you're eating emotionally. So when I was 21, I decided that I wanted to finally nip this in the bud, nip emotional eating in the bud, because I'd been doing it for a long time and I knew it wasn't good for me. It wasn't healthy. And so I actually went to a couple workshops at the Women's Health Clinic here in Winnipeg. I went to a workshop about emotional eating, about coping through the holidays, and oh my goodness, those workshops like changed my life. So in these workshops, I learned first of all like different coping mechanisms for my emotional eating. Because growing up, if I'm sad, I would turn to food and food would make me feel better like instantly. That was my go-to coping mechanism. I honestly didn't know about other things that I could do as a coping mechanism. So I was given a sheet at this workshop and it just listed so many different things. Listed talking to a friend, taking a bath, exercising, reading, doing a craft. Like, I know people who you could do dance therapy. I honestly have thought about dance therapy, like, because I love dancing. Dancing makes me so happy. I've thought about dance. I know someone who specializes in music therapy. Music is, I can't, like, music is amazing. I can't live without music. It makes me also feel good. Yes. So I learned all these different coping mechanisms that I didn't know before. And also, it's where I learned about mindfulness in my eating. So there's a bunch of questions that come along with mindfulness and your eating. Like, okay, so I eat my normal diet for the day, and then at the end of the day, sometimes I want to eat more food. So I ask myself these questions like, I want this, but do I need it? How am I going to feel like if I have this? For example, if I have rice cakes with butter on them, butter is it's heavy, like it's a heavy snack. So my stomach is not going to feel so happy because now it's got to process this fatty snack at bedtime. So sometimes I will be like, no, like I don't want to have that snack because my stomach is not going to be happy. So then I'll have like a protein bar. And protein bar, honestly, I feel like people nowadays, they just don't eat enough protein in their diet. Like me, I grew up with my mom telling me that you should eat protein with every meal. I feel like not a lot of other people got that message, because when you eat more protein, then you can have a flatter stomach. Protein helps you, if you don't eat enough protein, you can't build your muscles in order to burn that fat. You also need that protein to help your muscles recover from your working out. And you need the protein to help you recover from illnesses and everything. So I think our society needs to eat more protein for sure. A lot more protein. At least 1 gram per kilogram of body weight, at least. So with emotional eating, today I've gone from when I'm really sad, eating a whole bunch of food, and then feeling terrible, feeling bad about it later, because it's just like food is the quickest way to get that high. But there's just like this vicious cycle. So you eat the food, and then you're so full, you've eaten so much, and then you're like, I have to go exercise this off, or you know. And so when I learned about those different coping mechanisms and whatnot, I completely went like the opposite way. And now when I get upset, I like don't want to eat anything. I mean, I'll have a little something, but for the most part, I'm so like turned off by it. I just want to like talk to people and feel better about things. Like I once went to a counselor, and she was saying that like when you emotionally eat, you're pushing down your feelings. But what we need to actually do is we need to bring our feelings. We need to like we need to get those feelings out of there and not push them down, you know. Right. And so, honestly, when I would have this emotional eating and I would eat a lot of food and then I'd feel bad, what really helped me stop doing it, honestly, was continually telling myself that it's not going to make me feel good. And over time, like, I would tell myself this over and over, like, it's not going to make me feel better. It's not going to make me feel better. And then it worked. So I recommend it to people. If you're struggling with this emotional eating, remind yourself that it's a quick fix. It's not going to solve the problem in the big picture. Just tell yourself that it's not going to make yourself feel better. Also to this day, I notice that when I'm doing assignments, so I was doing resumes and cover letters, and I don't really like doing that. But so I'll get like incentive from going to go get something to eat. And like, it's like, if I just have this, I'll feel better and I'll be able to do this. I'll be able to continue working on my resumes and cover letters. And, but the thing is I'm not actually like going over what I've allotted myself for the day to be eating. I have my 3 meals and my 2 snacks, and so I'm not deviating from my plan when I'm emotionally eating this way. I'm giving myself an incentive in order to do something that I don't really like doing. Right. So that is how I work through my emotional eating. And that's how I recommend that you also work through your emotional eating. You can probably go on Google and just it'll list like all of these different coping mechanisms that you can just try instead of eating. See how that works for you. And then also just like mindfulness is good in lots of areas of life and not just eating. So just always like mindfulness, you're being present. Oh, another thing is that when I was trying to be an Olympic bobsledder, I was put on this weight cut. And so there was like a whole bunch of food that I wasn't like, the most sugar I ate per week was an applesauce. And it made me think like, I wish I would have appreciated food more when I was like a kid eating all this crap, eating all this food that I don't eat now and everything. I honestly wish I would have appreciated it more. And so now, like I really enjoy the food that I eat. I look forward to it. I really try to just like, if I'm eating chocolate and peanut butter, I'm like, this is so good. This is so good. Just like really, really appreciating it. And I just want to say that, okay, you know, if you have a day where you overeat, it's not the end of the world. Your body likes to maintain a certain weight range, like between 5 and 10 pounds. And so, what I've noticed that your body will, if you've like overate one day, your body will try really, really hard and it'll work really, really hard to get back to where you were before. So, if you have a bad day of eating, just don't feel too guilty. Guilty is just, it provides guilt, I think, is good for helping you realize that you need to change something, but it'll just eat away, honestly, like eat away at you if you are constantly feeling bad about overeating one day or another. Just, you know what, I take the motto and I'm just like, okay, like you also ask yourself like, did you enjoy it? And if you enjoyed it, like, that's good. That's, it was a bad thing to do, but you enjoyed it. So, like, okay. And then you're just like, I did that. And then tomorrow, I always say, like, whatever happened in the past is past. Tomorrow is a new day to start again. You can be one weight for like so many years, so many years. And then all of a sudden, one day, you just start this like amazing transformation. And it's, yeah, so yeah, tomorrow you can always change. No matter what age you are, you can always make gains. Like you can always increase your muscular strength. You can always improve your health, no matter what age you are. That's what I read scientifically. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about emotional eating. And I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much.